Rob Potylo, man, he is quiet desperation. He is 18 albums in the game. He is a comedy beast. He is all the above. Good person, good friend, good heart. He's all that. Rob Potylo's the man. You know, we're here tonight for a CD release party. Like I said, 18 albums, man. Something happened at Horse Lake. You gotta check it out, man. You know what I mean? This is his second album this year. The man is a fixture in Boston. You know what I mean? If you don't know who he is, you've been watching too much, 2.5 Men or something.
My name is Louis Robert Potylo III, and I'm releasing an album tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hiding in my roomie for 6 months. Fuck it, you can sue me, I can't stay. You just make me pay.
So what I set up at work today while smoking was a cardboard box with a $5 donation on the front. If somebody could do that, that would light me up like a Christmas tree.
You don't even see these rich guys doing that. You don't see no Jay-Z making 2 albums. You're gonna make an album than the greatest hits. That's simple. That's just all the best tracks off of 5, 6 albums. This man, if Rob made a friggin' greatest hits album, it'd be a 6-discer.
Rob Potylo is a friend of mine. A lot of these guys, good guy, funny, fun, interesting guy. I'm just trying to get material for my stand-up act.
Oh, really?
I'm here looking for material for my stand-up act.
I'm about to do vocals for the album, and I'm getting a little bit high. What they call it at New Alliance is crafting a high. Not being like an absolute shit show where you're getting debilitatingly drunk or coked out or too stoned to function.
You're not even the weirdest guy here. Oh, don't worry about it.
But crafting the perfect high, like Pink Floyd does before they go out on stage. I don't jam too much with many other musicians and other bands, probably because A, they're a lot better than me, but 2, because they seem to have this idea of where they want the song to go. Like, so this is going to be like old Blues Traveler with a little bit of like new Pedro the Lion, you know. So go, not okay, but the eighths, and do the hits like that.
It's hard living week to week, hiding in my room and smoking weed. But someday we'll be free when I sell my song to Batman 3.
Okay, cool. And like the lyrics, let's go for like a little bit, sort of the Killers, but like with that Neutral Milk Hotel, you know, organic thing, you know, like lo-fi. I don't know. I write songs because I'm trying to, I don't know, get in a better mood, and I feel like creating something might facilitate sort of the changes in my life to get there, or writing a song for a girl, you know, or writing a song because something pissed me off, and like it's really dumbed down to that.
My scene won't talk to me 'cause I yelled at them all fucked up on weed, and my scene just doesn't like me anymore. Ooh, I'm being held hostage on the 3rd floor of this apartment.
It's great to see him getting comfortable with the electric. First, the CD release show, he was not fumbling, but it was a new thing to him. You know, I've seen him so many times with the acoustic, and then to see him with the electric. And tonight he was right on it, man. It sounded great, and it just looked like he was really comfortable with himself.
Hey, mate, something must have happened at Horse Lake. My friends are on the take, there's an off switch. I can't hit 'cause I punched it.
Eddie, who's engineering on this album, has crafted a really cool way of like me recording, being comfortable. We recorded the album first at his house about a month ago. Then 2 weeks ago we recorded here an acoustic full version of the album. And then 2 nights ago, as you recall, I did a live show here.
This one is called Drawing Up Circles.
We got an electric stripped down version.
I'm burning up circles. Dip in the worlds to collide. I'm drawing up circles. Dip in the worlds to collide.
Now I'm doing it with the full band, and I feel good about it just because it does feel like the same way as when I first recorded it in my PJs in my room on my cell phone.
Thank you. You guys have...
A lot of musicians sort of treat this shit as a job, and I don't know, should it be a job? Are you forced to do it? I guess for a lot of people, yeah, because they want to get paid and get laid, and they're not really having much to say. They're just impersonating what they probably see on TV or, you know, on the radio, and because they're actors now these days, we have a lot more of them, you know, they can learn the business side of creating a song and make something that hits home with the sponsors.
There's too many people up there on stage anyways. They're doing music and they're like, you know, sort of going through the American Idol motions. You know, they're acting it. You know, Dave Navarro's out there and he wants to get you in his new band, but you better have the look and the presence because you're making fucking songs for Pepsi commercials. You know, I don't care for that. I'm not trying to hit this right note, and I'm not trying to hit this fucking perfect chord in the guitar with the right orange cab from Guitar Center that some person talked me into because it's the same cab that, you know, dude from Dashboard Confessional used. You know, I mean, I'm just trying to get people out of their heads on stage, make them forget about things for a little while.
Folks, this is officially turned into an Oliver Stone movie. That is the gig I'm having right now in Miami, which is awesome. But it's very surreal. I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm talking about I'm seeing Indians in the audience. And I'm seeing some creepy dickhead eyes. And that's his next song. Don't say that, don't say you don't care, and then look at me with those creepy
dickhead eyes. I've never felt so sensual. He really has invited me into his own personal hell, and I feel the kind of just joyous empathy that you know, one does when one is around. When one, not me, but one, really I don't care. Honestly, I'm pretty indifferent, but when one is introduced to the kind of self-loathing, sinister satire, fucking genius that Rob Roadsteamer is, yo.
I feel this discourse blossoming into a revolution, maybe.
A revolution? A rebel-lution? No, mostly a revolution.
Don't say that, don't say you don't care, and then look at me. Eyes one more time, come on, don't be lazy. With those creepy dickhead eyes, a little louder, come on. With those creepy dickhead eyes, one more time. With those creepy dickhead eyes, come on. With those creepy dickhead eyes. 'Cause I'm gonna miss you when I'm gone.
I can get the melody down as I first hear it. The problem with me in recording was like I'm just very different in my bedroom. I'm comfortable. I'm just in my place, and trying to get that into a recording studio is like transporting a kidney. It's like it's fragile. It doesn't make it to the donor a lot of times, and it doesn't come out the same way, you know, it came from. So I've been trying to develop a style where I can be as comfortable in the studio as I've been in my house.
Anybody ever played Tetris? That's a good question. Tetris is a video game for the 8-bit Nintendo. In order to get really high points on it, you have to get 4 lines at a time. I think it's Russian 4 or something like that. We'll let the Wikipedia heads with the Blackberries figure that shit out. But I wrote a song about Tetris, and
the inspiration for that comes from anything.
Rob is always just like on point. He's on point like a harpoon or something, I'd say, you know.
It's called Tetris.
I feel like Tetris sinking in blocks, waiting for a long lady block to take my space away. Take my space away.
You know, the Tetris, I always try to like, the Tetris song where it's like, just waiting for that long block, because that's like, it's got a lot of metaphors that just bleed into life, you know, and Tetris and stuff, and, you know, finding the missing cat, you know. Every single time I see those posters, you know, that's why I can relate. I can relate to Mr. Road Steamer.
It could come from hanging out with you. It can come from fucking, you know, being punching the walls at like 2 in the morning in here and screaming and being like, what the fuck is everything happening like this? And then 4 o'clock in the morning, a lady friend calls and is like, you want to go to IHOP? And all of a sudden, by 5 o'clock, you're redeemed again, and you question how dark you could have ever gotten in the first place if everything can switch so quickly. So it can come from anywhere. In terms of artists, holy shit, you know, forget it. I'm a wet sponge, open sponge, wet pillow, open palette, clean palette. One of the words that just, you know, conveys that I will absorb a lot, but like, forget it.
in 2 hours I'll be playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on Nintendo and smoking weed. Whatever I'm doing on stage right now really doesn't need a reaction. If you want to talk, if you want to do anything, it's all good.
I see Rob as kind of, he's doing a service, I think, to the community at large, both the comedy and the music side, and that he's like bringing the people that he finds into this little world of quiet desperation. And a lot of times it's like slightly different than what you do, but it's still, he's promoting everybody at once and trying to raise the water that the boat is on. And that's a really great thing, in that he finds things that he likes, tries to help it, and help bring everybody up at once.
I have a show called Quiet Desperation where I've been documenting my trip through the Matrix the last couple of years. And
you know, the problem is a lot of people today are balloon pullers. They're cynics. It's so much easier to stand against than to, you know, actually jump into something again. It's okay to care, but you know, Quiet D was the byproduct of me being in the Montreal Comedy Festival auditions last year. It was like, here was this, you know, I mean, I might have not just wanted to do comedy, but I did want to get a break somehow and like be able to facilitate having more resources to create with. And I did this audition for the Montreal Comedy Festival, and the person who was doing the talent picking wouldn't even look at me afterwards. It was like, you know, he saw that I wasn't somebody that could be molded to the 18 to 34 demographic put in front of a camera. So, I don't know, Quiet D was literally a byproduct of the desperation.
it's going to be premiering Christmas Eve and Christmas Day on my TV. And this is the song that's at the beginning of all the webisodes, and it's called A Line of Traffic. And this is it. Thank you guys very much.
Really, I don't care about trying to get a sitcom like an Always Sunny in Philadelphia or a Cosby Show or something like that. It's more or less whatever moment I'm living in. I just like capturing the people around that sort of area that like really, you know, lit me up in real life. You know, sort of like a documentary, but you know, on a scale that like, you know, there is some surrealism. You know, there's comedy, there's people acting over the top, or maybe this. WBCN, the Taz, spinning Nirvana 500 times a week. Yeah! Chicken wing night down at the Harp with the sexy BCN girls and Tommy the Retard Boy. Yeah! Giving away Audio Slave tickets and doing Percocet in the back room with some of the hotter street teamers, and I have warm-up pants that I can pull down. Yeah! And if you're in a local band, I'm not gonna talk to you because we only do local bands on Sunday nights at 11 p.m. And guess what? All the radio stations do that in the area locally. Yeah! The Matrix! We lampooned that.
You can have a new cigarette. You can stop watching. You can plant yourself right in. You can change the way he's speaking. You can have a new vitamin. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So get familiar with Rob Potylo and Quiet D, Quiet Desperation. We're gonna be on my TV too, so check us out. And just do the right thing, man. Just check us out, man. Rob Potylo, genius. He's the brains behind this operation. Do the right thing, player.
You the fuck is Force Lake?